866-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketраdio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel. Good morning, everybody. Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM radio. Nice to have you with us today. I'm Dave Richards, a poor man's replacement for Joe Callahan, who's on vacation for one more day, and he better be back here on Monday, or he's in deep Dutch, that's for sure. All righty. Well, we have special guests here today. We also have special panelists. I always call her special anyway. Melissa Murray is here. Hello there, Melissa.
Good morning, everybody.
If we get some time, we've got some very pointy questions about politics for you, my dear. I hope that you have your politics hat
ready.
with you.
I'm going to have to probably have another cup of coffee first.
You think think another cup of coffee?
Possibly.
You think?
Possibly.
All right. Whatever. And we have the Megster is here.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me.
And in studio for the first time this season.
I'm in, I made my way from Newport.
You have a lot longer commute
to Woonsocket just to be with you and to talk to all of your lovely fans out there.
I know how you feel. I raised a family in Pasco. Right.
It was a hike.
I voted in Burrillville, but I lived in Woonsocket.
That,
pretty much the same thing for you,
absolutely.
Isn't it?
Yeah. You just want to be all over the state. Such a wonderful state of Rhode Island. You want to be able to see all
aspects. Love that
aspects.
traffic in the summertime.
Yet it's not really there at 6 a.m.,
Oh, good.
Perks of leaving early.
That's right. And you brought along a friend. You want to introduce her to everybody?
I would love to. So I was so fortunate. I'm with you all today. I work with NeighborWorks Blackstone River Valley, and specifically I'm here to talk about the Levitt Amp Woonsocket music series. Levitt is hugely complicated to run, and I am here with my wonderful, incredible intern that came to me through the interwebs, and I would love for her to introduce herself to you all.
Yeah, so good morning. I'm Kimberly Henry. I'm a student at the University of New Haven. I am a music industry major, a business administration major, and I have a minor in beverage management. But I am doing this internship for music industry.
Which is more fun, the beverage management? I mean, I'm just saying, what's a field trip like in beverage management class?
I haven't done a field trip, but we have a lot of labs, the fancy word for it, where we mix alcoholic beverages.
Oh, I was thinking you should bring everyone to Dell's. I didn't know where we were going with beverage management. You have so many options. Dell's, coffee, milk. You could be like, come on to Rhode Island. Let me teach you about all of my cultural beverages.
No, they talk about bars. It's all about the alcohol.
Yes, but when you go to different places, you learn the different cultures, I'm sure.
Yes.
Because it's still all hospitality in a very broad sense, right?
Yes.
So you really want to know what people are drinking and wanting and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah.
But I'm sure a lot of it has to do not with the consuming of it, but with the organizing and dispensing, learning and adhering to health laws, liquor laws, training, and then generally speaking, how to enable the house to turn a profit, because you don't do this for laughs.
Right. That is very true.
I don't know anybody who serves liquor for laughs. It's all about the dough, because it's a big bother otherwise. And, every day they've got to worry about rules and everything else like that, and yet if there weren't a profit in it, nobody would go through that bother.
That is true. I personally like it because I like to mix everything. I
really
like to mix juices, not just alcohol, just juices. And
right.
I have a friend that really likes non-alcoholic beverages, so I found a non-alcoholic whiskey for her at Whole Foods, and I mix with that.
Now, is that just something that a bunch of chemicals that go together and fool your taste buds into thinking you're drinking whiskey? Is that the deal?
Essentially.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there's a bunch of chemicals in it, but
everything's made of chemicals. Even the alcohol is a chemical.
It's true. But I would say there are more natural ingredients in it, as it's from Whole Foods, which is more of an organic store. So that's why I really like it, and I use it for her. So.
All right.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued
too.
Yeah, and I think before the show I was going to leave it for later, But I'm going to ask now those who are watching on the TV streams, they've gotten a chance to see Kamala, and she has a hairdo on that must take you 4 weeks to put together. Seriously, it is like almost like. Now this is going to be gauche, but in my experience, in my life's experiences, I'm looking at it and it reminds me of like a bouffant braid.
Oh, well, it's just twists. It takes me not 4 weeks, but 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours
to do your hair up.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Some hairstyles.
It's all different tones.
Yeah,
you have
longer.
all different tones of cream colored and brown and reddish brown.
Yeah.
And then your natural is brunette, right?
Mine, well, it's a little bit of brunette and blondes because I did bleach it a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
So I still have hints of blonde in there too.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
a different bunch of different colors.
My goodness. And
Yeah.
those who are listening on the radio, just picture, very tight braids. And 2 on either side of her face, framing it nicely in the front. And then toward the back, it's just 4 inches high.
Yeah.
I haven't heard the word bouffant in like a really long time, Dave. Though.
For you to
It's-
even know what it was.
Is bouffant like a French word? What is a bouffant?
Well, okay, so
Think
how do
Jackie
I
Kennedy.
even-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can go
When she
there.
had her hair up.
Yes. I got you.
Big.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is more like just
Gracefully swirled on top of the head. Instead of hanging down the back, it's all brought up on top of the head and spun around so that it stays there.
Kimberly, you've inspired coffee and conversation about hair. I would love to know, Dave, last time this has occurred. This is amazing. It could be a first.
I don't know. I don't know.
Could be a coffee and first.
Could be. You never. It's 76 years. It'd be tough to have a first on this show, I think.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so let's. I have to take a little stop over here and remind everybody about the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, our sponsor for this portion of conversation. The upcoming events list is in my email box. And it's talking about Businesses Brewing Networking Pop-Up coming up on Wednesday, August 9th. Now, that sounded like a long, long time ago when we first heard about it, but nay. It's next Wednesday, friends, from 5 to 7 at the Providence Brewing Company in partnership with the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber. Welcome Wednesday networking coffee coming up on the following Wednesday, the 16th, from 8 to 9 in the morning. Remember, Coffee and listeners always have dispensation to attend live chamber events. You can always catch us on the replay for a makeup. And that's at the BBBS headquarters in Providence as well. And then Job Seekers Job Fair, free and open to the public to attend. And the interesting thing about job fairs, I mean, a lot of people think that they're for people who don't have jobs. But you know, the honest truth is, most of the times when I go to job fairs, I'm looking at people who have jobs who want improvement. Either improvement in circumstances, wages, or they're trying to get closer to a career goal or whatever like that, and they want to see what's out there. I know when I was a young lad, before I got so heavily into radio that I bought the place, if I was working, and I worked at a mill for a long time, if I was working at a place and I wanted better circumstances, I would take my lunch hour, go down to the Rhode Island Unemployment, and look at there was microfiches back then. They didn't have computers, and see who was hiring. And there's a brief description of what's going on like that. And then I might contact them if I saw something I like. Well, anyway, that's coming up at the Rhode Island Workforce Hub in Central Falls, and they're partnering with the Rhode Island Hispanic Chamber of Commerce for this one. And that's coming up Thursday the 10th, next Thursday. And then, of course, next month, it's the Eggs and Issues Breakfast with Secretary of State Amore, who nobody knew during the election cycle, but everybody's come to really become affectionate with this guy since he's been our Secretary of State. You meet him, you like him. So go and meet him at the Eggs and Issues Breakfast at the Kirkbrae Country Club, September 14th. Yes, Kirkbrae is having events. Then moving on further into September, on the 28th, we have at Bryan University, the Emerging Leaders Leadership Lessons Breakfast coming up on that one too. All right, all those things coming up for your Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. 334-1000 is the telephone number. Call them after 9 o'clock. They will answer the phone then. Thank you. All right, moving right along with our show. Let's see. Meg, we have to talk to you about tonight's concert. Now, people have been listening to me all week say, with a straight face and no embellishment, that Friday, we have beautiful days all this week. I mean, people are insanely jealous of Joe Callahan. He took this week off. He had great weather all week until Friday. It's not gray. I mean, it's not great. It's gray. And it's kind of glum looking out there and all the rest of that stuff. So people want to know what's going on in your noggin. I know that usually you don't pull the trigger on this till about noontime on Friday. But given all of the latest weather information, what are you thinking about tonight? Are we going to go to Plan B or Plan A?
Yeah, so rumor has it it's going to rain, and that rumor has been circulating.
Well, it started at 4:30 this morning.
for quite
4:30
some
this
time.
morning. I listen. You know, I'm up at that hour, and so I'm hearing the rain.
Yep.
And it got us soaked down pretty good at 4:30, but
Yes.
it hasn't rained much since.
Yes. So our plan right now is to relocate the show from River Island Art Park just up to
On the perimeter.
just up to 40 South Main Street. So if you've gone week after week to Lev Amp Woonsocket, if you're familiar with the park, the closest building to that is 40 South Main, the old Mulvey's hardware store. You'll see a lot of outside lights, and we'll be inside that space.
Yeah.
If it's not raining, we will have the patio open with chairs and umbrellas, and we'll be piping some music out there. We'll have room inside for about 100 folks, and then there's additional space for people to be in the lobby or to be out on the patio to enjoy the show. But we hate to do this. However, the show goes on rain or shine, and fortunately, due to NeighborWorks, we have this great indoor event space. We are able to move performances inside. They just become more of an intimate evening of music
And
as
for
opposed to
a lot of the
party.
locals who know the geography, this is the old Mulvey's. If
Exactly.
they haven't been there before, and I think a lot of people have, but yeah, in case they haven't, they want to visualize it before they go. You'll actually walk fewer steps to get to the concert.
Oh, yeah. It'll be a shorter walk. We're right next to the Museum of Work and Culture.
Exactly, right next door, and they're actually attached. The building, two buildings are attached, and this is the building that if you're going through the lights at Market Square, you see the big moving color sign on the top that has the commercials for the concert on it.
Yes, yes.
So this is the place right there. And of course, tonight you won't be able to miss the fact that the ON TV and radio truck is just outside the front doors with all of our different cables and stuff like that snaking in underneath the doorway and that sort of thing. We'll be down there setting things up around 2 o'clock this afternoon to be sure everything's all set. Because this is only the second time in the 5-year history of Levitt that we have actually gone with Plan B in order to stay on track.
It is. It's very true. So
Rain dates don't work because you're dealing with touring bands.
yes, our act today is coming in from Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
And so while we might be able to move them around, it's a 10-week concert series. We are reliable. We're like trains. We always show up on Friday night at 6 p.m.
Exactly.
And so we're still showing up. We're just going to show up indoors this time.
Right. And there'll be somebody left in the park saying, with an umbrella, saying, over there.
Exactly.
So if you come into the park, you'll immediately know something is different.
Yes, yes.
And we've gone with Plan B. So we're moving indoors for only the second time in 5 years. That is amazing.
Not too bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. But it's for the comfort of the audience, really. Because
really
the bands
is.
could play. The radio and TV can do it. We could be out there in the park because the bands are covered. We've got the TV truck, so we're covered. Adam's covered in the gazebo. All the functional parts of putting it on. Even Jerry has got the old stage
Yes.
with a cover over her. But the audience.
Yes, it's going to be a crummy night. And, an indoor concert for free on a crummy night sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you just want to stay inside, ON will accommodate.
And you can enjoy ON from the comfort of your home, or
Yes.
our partners at Lops. They actually,
that.
it's so cool. So they live
We
stream.
saw people come to the park last week. They were at Lops having a brew, and up on the big screen TVs, they're playing the concert
Yep.
They
that we're
are.
broadcasting live. And they tell them right there, And you got to love the folks at Lops. They said, "Oh yeah, that's going on right over there at Market Square." Oh yeah. They picked up. Hopefully, they tipped the bartender, and they picked up and they came right down.
Yep.
Yeah,
To see
they're,
what was going
they're
on
a really
in person.
good community partner.
Oh gosh, I felt so good when I heard that.
Yes. Yes.
That was super. I wish that more people would do it too.
Right.
Yeah, because just put it. I mean, you've got all kinds of restaurants around with big screen TVs.
Yep.
If you can get Netflix and Hulu on your smart TV, you can watch us. Just go to YouTube, look up the ON Worldwide channel. That's On Worldwide channel on YouTube, and there we are live
Amazing. And so,
in stereo.
yeah, wherever you're located in the world, you may enjoy this. And
That's
if
why it's
you're
ON Worldwide. Right?
incredible, and if you are in or near Woonsocket, you can come join us at 40 South Main Street, or
Yeah.
you can head down to Lops and join it with company of friends.
It'd be nice to have a crowd there.
Yeah.
The performers like the crowd,
Oh,
so
yes.
don't just stay home because it's easy. But come on down.
Yep, we have 100 chairs. We'd like to fill them. So
Sure.
you don't even have to bring your blankets and your lawn chairs. We've got you covered this week.
And it's an air-conditioned comfort, which doesn't mean that they're blowing cold on air. I remember air-conditioned actually meant that it was good room temperature no matter what the circumstances were, either hot or cold. Air conditioning used to also mean heat.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I did not know that, but that makes sense.
Well, okay. Well, so the word is out. Plan B. We're going indoors, and that's at the Mill Race, right there where Mulvey's used to be, next to the Museum of Work and Culture, and we'll be setting up the whole thing that way. I think it's going to be. Let's talk about who's going to be on the show here too. Oh, well, we got a break here. Should we take the break? Yeah, I suppose we take the break so we're not constricted with our conversations later. All right, so we'll take the break right now, and we'll remind you this portion of Coffee and brought to you by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. The telephone number to call at 9 o'clock when they answer them is 334-1000. Be right back. For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
WOON Woonsocket Radio, ON AM and FM.
All right, thanks. Well, we're taking care of the water and coffees now during the break here, and take a minute before that can brew up there for you, kid. We'll take care of that. But right now, it's time to talk about Levitt again. And Kemily is, I think, the one we're talking to about the performance tonight.
She's going to share a little bit about Alexis Lee, our opening act.
So, Kemily, and say your last name. Would you say Henry or Henry?
Henry.
Henry, okay. Kemily Henry. All right. Tell us all about Alexis Lee. Is she really showing her middle finger or her little finger?
I
I
don't
got a
think she's
complaint
showing
about her
either.
song.
I don't think she's showing either. She shouldn't be. From what I've heard, she's a pretty good performer. She's performed at Providence Fest, other festivals in Providence. I've read an article about her. They have said very positive things about her, how she has great energy on stage.
She does. We saw her. we saw her at the reveal at Chance.
Yeah.
She came up and performed.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't go to that, but I saw pictures and she looked really, really beautiful up there. I really enjoyed seeing all the pictures of all the artists. But Alexis Lee is a soul and R&B artist. I highly recommend listening to Better Weather. She has a kind of jazzy, chill
Now, wouldn't that be
vibe.
ironic for her to sing that tonight?
Yeah.
Better
It's
Weather.
really, it's so
Wishing
funny.
for some better weather.
That is her most popular song, Better Weather.
It
so,
is?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Alexis Lee, she is a local from Providence, Rhode Island. She has very few listeners, but I feel like she deserves more because she is a very talented artist. If you look at her Instagram, she does a lot of the songwriting herself. She also takes part in the producing of her own music, and not a lot of artists do that. They have other people do it for them, but I like how she takes part in each and every one of her songs. So I definitely think that she's an enjoyable artist, something to relax to. But yeah, Alexis Lee tonight at 6 p.m.
She is
Inside at Millrace.
inside at Millrace.
Yeah.
She is really stunning. Grew up in a musical family and ended up going
Yeah.
to Berkeley to really hone her skills.
Yeah.
And she'll be with us tonight with a 5-piece band. Our opening act actually has a bigger setup than our headlining act for the evening. Yeah. I think being like, only having to drive over from the 20 minutes from Providence versus the God only knows how many hours from New York on a Friday in the
Well,
summer.
on Route 95 in Connecticut, it could be 24 hours. Who knows? Yeah.
Definitely supports
It's a
that.
rotten road.
But for anyone who came out to Chan's in April or May for the band release party, Alexis Lee was our act that helped us announce all the bands. So it'll be great to have her back again tonight.
And very, very considerate and professional artist, too, I noticed
Oh,
when,
yes.
when we were there at Chance. So people are going to enjoy Alexis Lee tonight.
Yeah.
Kimberly, what can you tell us about Girls on Grass?
Girls on Grass, they're a 3-piece band. They are a country rock band. I feel like they complement, Alexis Lee and Girls on Grass complement each other very well because they both have the chill vibe, but featuring themselves in different genres. Girls on Grass, they have an interesting story. Their name refers to experiences when they were younger as girls, different experiences as a whole, just all together. They met each other, Barbara and Nancy, the drummer and the main singer and guitarist, met each other at a venue where Nancy was performing. And Barbara actually talked to her boyfriend, Nancy's boyfriend, and asked if she was available, and that's where it all started.
That's
Well,
an interesting question, right?
not available
is your,
for a
is your girlfriend
relationship,
available?
Available to play music.
Yes, available to play music.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, it's that easy. Wow. But yeah.
Are you looking for new band members, Kimberly? Maybe you can just go places and ask everyone's significant other.
I'm
I
looking
wanna
for
perform
one
with
new
her.
band member, actually. So
Now you have an
yeah.
avenue in.
Yes, exactly. So
Well, it could be a quartet.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go. There
So
you
you
go.
so you're thinking of running away with Girls on Grass?
I don't think so,
No.
but if they invite me on stage, I might not say no. So
Well, it's very interesting because now you have an in-depth look at the artists. Me on the outside over here, I look at them a little bit differently. The Girls on Grass, I look at them as being very professional in as much as, okay, you need a name that's going to stand out. You need a name that people are going to remember.
Right.
And if you have a name that's got a double entendre to it, that helps too, as long as it's not vulgar, right?
Right.
I mean, the Beatles, it was beat music, B-E-A-T, and then, of course, Beatles are an insect. So I mean, things like that, I mean, it
And
works.
very popular cars at that time.
That's true, too, yes, the Volkswagen
Hit a
Beetle.
triple entendre right there.
Except that Volkswagen never called them a Beetle until the 1970s, because everybody else was calling them Beetles. But getting back to this Girls on Grass group, it shows that they have a great maturity
Right.
in what they're doing. Now, a lot of what they're doing appears to be kind of like a wink and a nudge to the audience. Like, okay, we're having fun over here. Do you get the joke? No? Well, then let's just dance. And they play very pop-sounding music.
yes.
The stuff that you've never heard before, but it sounds like a song you love. And we have that in the message. As a matter of fact, we're going to play that in just a few moments. And then Alexa Lee, she is her big thing is that she tries to sing the truth about things, and that's why she tries to be known that way. A lot of her stuff is a lot more mellow.
Yes.
But the girls from Girls on Grass have a little bit more of a beat to it.
Yes.
And so, did you want to hear the message? Has she heard the messages this week? Have
I
you heard
don't believe
commercials
so.
we played
No,
for
I
Levitt?
haven't.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play it on the air right now so that you can hear it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Listen to the speakers now. This Friday, August 4th, at the Levitt Amp Free Concerts at Woonsocket's River Island Art Park, we open with a woman who sings the truth beautifully, Alexis Lee.
All my life I've been trying to get right here. All my life I've been holding up this middle finger to the ones that I fear.
And then at 7:30, our headline performers, the superb vocal harmonies and pop music sound of Girls on Grass.
Come hang with me down at the bottom. Come play with me, girl.
Live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON AM and FM stereo radio and streamed live at woonsocketradio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. The broadcast is sponsored in part by Buxton Hollow Farm in Woonsocket, PT Floors, Walls, and More, Fontaine Real Estate, Heavy Press Graphics, Landmark Medical Center, and State Senator Melissa Murray. Well, there you go. Kimberly, what do you think? Only took me about an hour to record that.
That sounded awesome. I
Well,
love your descriptions.
Thank you. It's what we do in this in radio. All right. Well, anyway, Kimberly, so that's where you can see that's how we try to promote wherever the hooks are, what the bands want to be known as, so
Right.
that people don't come in there and they're disappointed. Then nobody gains on that. But that's the way we presented everything for tonight, and it's going to be fun to be there tonight, and you'll be there tonight too.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Do you
As
ha-
stage manager.
Now, usually at this point, we'd have to say goodbye to you, and I'd say, do you have any final thoughts? But I think we just got dispensation from Meg to allow you to stay for the rest of the show, so you can observe close hand what we do in the wonderful world of broadcasting.
Yes.
You have an interest in it.
I do. I've always loved radio since I was a kid. I also thought about making my own podcast as a kid as well.
Yeah.
I also tried voice
Well, why
acting.
haven't you? It's so simple. Anybody can do it in their bedroom, for Pete's sake.
It is, but I get preoccupied with writing music.
Oh.
So I have not started a podcast. I bought the mic. I have two vocal mics for singing. So we'll see. if
People
it
wouldn't
happens.
understand. Is that for stereo or two different vocal mics for different reasons?
Two vocal mics for different reasons.
One for singing, one for talking?
Yes.
See, people don't get that.
Yeah.
Different
because-
microphones are good at different things.
It cannot. My regular talking mic cannot handle my voice. You'll just get feedback. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm too loud. Way too loud.
No,
when
it's
I sing.
that's
Yep.
exactly it. The microphone you're talking into right now is a long-standing professional microphone, and the reason we can use it in so many different situations is it has a 5 detent adjustment ring on it. One for music, one for a little less like music, one for a little less like music, and then
Oh,
finally
wow.
one for speech, and it's set on speech right now for you.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Yeah.
All right. You learn all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. But Meg, we have to finish off this segment, so we're going to go to you to wrap things up for tonight's Levitt concert.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for having us. So tonight, 6 p.m., Levitt Amp Woonsocket with Alexis Lee, soul R&B performer, and Girls on Grass. There's some lady rockers. We're going to be inside at 40 South Main Street at the Mill Race building. No need to bring your chairs. We'll have seats all taken care of. And, you know, when we shift things around, I can't 100% guarantee who else is going to be there tonight. You can get your most updated information on on our social media. So look up Levitamp Woonsocket on Instagram or Facebook to get that knowledge. But I do know that Jerry's Bluffing Boutique will be there with a belly dancing lesson. So our intermission act this week will be some stunning belly dancers that then will do some audience interaction as we're switching the stage over. So 6 p.m. tonight, Mill Race for week 8 of Levitt Amp Woonsocket Music Series.
Looking forward to it. We'll be on the air sharp at 6 o'clock tonight, right there from the Mill Race location, the Public Events Center. We have to take a little break over here. Before we switch things off in the studio, I have to take care of the weather forecast. Sponsored by the nice folks at Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Info at positivecoach.org. Today, cloudy skies with a high of 77. And only a 50% chance of rain, but it's all day. And they've downgraded from 2.5 inches to a 1/2 inch of rain in this storm coming over, but that's still a 1/2 inch too much. So we're going to move indoors for the Levitt concert tonight. And tonight, let's see, we're going to get down to around 63. Still more clouds and everything. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, might be a few more clouds up there than you expect. And there's still a slight chance of a shower early in the morning. Those are just passing showers that are leaving, and they were stragglers. Maybe they spent too much time at the bar and we can't get them home. I don't know. Mostly sunny skies for Saturday tomorrow with a high of 83. And remember, the Holy Trinity Carnival has the Saturday matinee from 1 to 5, and then they wrap things up from 6 to 11. They're going to have great weather for that tomorrow. Let's see. For Sunday, mostly sunny and 84. Monday, sunshine and 82. Tuesday, sunshine and 84, but with a little chance of a shower. On Wednesday, sunshine and 83. And next Thursday, sunny skies and 84. Still too early to find out about next Friday.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sounds
we'll
like a
worry
good
about
beach
next
week.
Friday after this Friday. Presently outside our Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio here on Park Avenue at the corner of Kennedy Street. Roads are drying off ahead of the next shower, and it's 69 degrees up from our overnight low of 66. We'll be right back.
New England barbecue at its finest is at Good Stuff Smokehouse in Blackstone. Get ready for the best barbecue you've ever tasted. Pulled pork, slow smoked brisket, and turkey breast. Boston spare ribs, and more are on the menu. Good Stuff Smokehouse makes their own kettle corn and homemade root beer. Good Stuff Smokehouse, 97 Main Street, Blackstone, and online at goodstuffsmokehouse.com. At Good Stuff Smokehouse, we smoke the good stuff.
It continues tonight. It's the Holy Trinity Carnival on the parish grounds at Park Square through Saturday. Ride all the Rockwell amusement rides from 6 to 11 tonight. The Holy Trinity Carnival Kitchen is open from 6 to 9, and the parish games open from 6 to 10 tonight. Food trucks, Spanish cuisine, sausage sandwiches, dynamites, and bugged out barbecue. Classroom bingo, plus a Saturday matinee. And tonight, hear the Bad Habits Band with hits from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, rock, country, and jazz. Take your chances on the huge parish Split the Pot. It's 4 nights and 1 great afternoon of summertime fun at the Holy Trinity Parish Carnival today through Saturday. Make your plans to be there.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on My Morning Sports Reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
We're back on Coffee and here on ON AM and FM radio and streaming live on all of our streaming TV channels. This portion of our program sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspapers.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
Cha-cha-cha. Zydeco Cha-Chas, right? Just having fun. Okay. All right, it's time to introduce what the rooster is back. Here he is, Rich Elaine.
How you doing? How you doing?
Rich, I'm sure you know Melissa, right?
Yes, I do.
We
Who's
may have
sitting
met
there
once or
very
twice.
quietly.
Yeah. We've run into each other a couple of times. I think.
Quietest
Yeah.
I've seen Melissa in a while, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here because we're going to have some stuff to talk about with you. In
Okay.
a few
Well,
minutes.
I was letting our guests talk
Of
about
course.
Levitt. So.
And Kimberly is still here. She's looking on, saying, "What is this idiot doing here?" Okay.
Well, at least she got that connotation right if she's thinking that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So you met Kimberly, though, right?
No, I've never have. So
Oh, this is
pleasure to
Rich
meet
Elaine.
you.
Nice
Hi,
to
yeah,
meet
same
you.
here, same here.
All right. Now, Rich, before you tell us what's going on down at Post 85, I heard the most awful rumor about you.
Oh my God, here we go again. Somebody passing on stuff that may or not.
I heard
not be true.
that there was a guy up in Massachusetts couldn't get a ride. He's a veteran, and he had to go down to the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got the call because they know all about Post 85's Veterans Transportation. When you're in a pinch, you call Rich here.
Yeah.
And you were able to get him to the doctor's office. You
Yep.
get to the doctor's office, the doctor says, "You're going to the hospital." And so you took him to the hospital.
Yep.
And you took him to the hospital, and by golly, hour after hour went by, and finally the hospital says, "You can't go home today. You're staying here."
Yep.
But you stayed for the whole doggone time till like from 9 o'clock till 2:30 in the afternoon to make sure this guy didn't need a ride back home. And I heard that story about you. I said, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because that's what's in your heart, because that's what started this whole thing. You wanted to help people, and somebody needed help, and it had nothing to do with rules, regulations, time schedule, or anything else. This person needs help, and that's the only thing that was important to you. And I thought that was wonderful.
Well, thank you. But it's important, it's important that all our drivers, and that's something, believe it or not, this was one of the things that I said, this may happen someday. That you go to you go for what you think is going to be an hour and a half appointment.
Right.
And somebody may have to go to the hospital after that. Now, you can leave the guy sitting there high and dry, the
Can't
veterans, but you can't, because if the doctor said at 2:30 in the afternoon, no, okay, we're going to let him go home from the hospital. Well, how's he going to get home?
Right.
So you got to stay. I mean, you're obligated to do that. But I'm happy it happened early in what's happening here, because now I go back and I got 9 other drivers and I report to them and I say, hey, look, this could happen. And if it does,
And then you could be the one that was getting the ride.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have to come up with some contingency plans.
I guess so.
So, but yeah, I mean, and the veteran I drove, this is the first time I personally took a trip.
Oh, really?
Yep, because like I
But you
said,
got the e-ticket, didn't you?
yeah, but I like to let the other drivers have it. I mean, I don't mind doing the coordinating. That's what it's all about.
Right.
And I call the drivers and I try to schedule them. But yeah, if I want to stay away from the trips, I want the other volunteers to know. Basically, you got to let them know that they're needed. If you don't use them for 2 months, they're going, "What the heck?"
Yeah, right.
Right.
So, yeah, I took that trip, and it was the first time, like I say, first time I took one, and now I get, when the other drivers have come back to me, they turn around and they say, boy, what a great experience that was, driving the veteran, listening to his story and listening to what it's all about. This gentleman was 92 years old. He had me laughing from the time we left the Milford area till the time we got to the hospital in Worcester. This guy had me in stitches in the ER while he was waiting to be seen by the doctor. And then lo and behold, his doctor that comes to see him is a lieutenant colonel in the Army.
Well.
So I'd look up and he had his regular doctor's outfit on, but he had the lieutenant colonel badge on.
Right,
Say,
yeah.
So I looked at the veteran that was with me. He's like, I said, hey, we got to jump to attention here. I said, we got a lieutenant colonel in the room. He said, but yeah, it was a great experience, and that's what we're all about. You know, you don't leave a veteran standing. We help one another.
I just wanted to say thank you. I heard it, and I was very, very proud to know you.
Well, thank you.
Now, enough of this fooling around.
All right, yeah,
What's
let's
going
get
on at
let's get to the real
Post-85?
important stuff, shall
Well,
we?
can
Wait
I
a
just
minute.
add
Melissa,
that?
sure, go ahead.
I think that that's wonderful, and I don't know about y'all, but like for me, going to the doctor is stressful enough, and I imagine, you know, the older I get, the more stressful it will become, and then having my doctor tell me, oh, now you have to go to the hospital, and you know, the last thing that you want to worry about when you can't drive yourself or you are not able to is how am I going to get home? So, you know, not having to worry about that, just being able to focus on your health, I think is really important. And I'm glad that you were able to offer that. And plus the company, not being there by yourself, waiting for hours, I think that is wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, then you're not thinking of all the like coulda, shoulda, what is going on. You know, you have someone to distract you in a stressful situation, and the companionship, I think, was just as important, if not more important than the ride.
I'll tell you, well, thank you for those words. And I think the thing that bothered me the most is when the doctor said, you know, we're going to keep him. And then I looked at the veteran and I said, oh, okay. I says, well, they're going to keep you overnight. I said, so, you know, my time here is kind of done. So it was a pleasure meeting you. And I shook his hand and everything. And the guy had like, it was almost, I walked away feeling guilty of saying,
Yeah. Oh.
You're
I said,
leaving there,
yeah. I only knew this guy for like about 3.5 hours, and all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah, but
Jeez,
at
I feel
$300 a night, you don't want to stay for him.
yeah, there you go.
Right.
Well, but what's going on at the Post? Is that what we want to know?
Yes.
All right. So tomorrow night, like always, we have our bands on Saturday night. This is a brand new band we've never had there before called Manatees.
As in those big watery mammals down in
Yes,
Florida.
the manatees.
Yeah.
Manatee.
Yeah, Manatees. And they're going to be there tomorrow night from 7 to 11. As always, it's underneath our pavilion. And sorry about the Levitt having rain, but we're supposed to have gorgeous weather tomorrow, so I'm happy for that.
Yes, you are.
So come on out at the Post 85 tomorrow night from 7 to 11. Listen to the Manatees as always. It's free. It's underneath our canopy. We have the outside bar open for beverages, and we got plenty of parking in there. And you know, so like I say, come on out and enjoy some good music with the Manatees. And I do have to give a little plus here because last week we had so many people that donate so many different things to us to help beautify the area around Post 85. But I had mentioned last week how we had Bevilacqua Paving come in and drop off all that regrind, and we got that all done and everything. So it looks great up there by the memorial. But one thing we had was like a canopy of trees that was around the new asphalt that we laid down. And those canopy of trees, some of those branches were really, really in tough shape, and they were big. So we're looking and we're watching some of the storms that went by with the wind, and we're watching these branches go and going, man, we park a car under there, somebody's walking under there.
Time
We're
for a
gonna
little pruning,
somebody gonna get hurt. And there was a lot of pruning to the point where the commander, Bob LaForte, got in touch with some people over at Stanley Tree Service.
Oh, nice people.
And Stanley Tree Service came out there last night, and they cut back that big canopy of all the branches that could be a danger to anybody up there visiting the memorial, parking up there for any of the events. So I just want to give a shout out, like I did last week, to the other vendors, Stanley Tree. Thank you very much for what you did up there, Post 85, to keep everybody safe.
Cool.
And
Post 85 is at 870?
870 River Street, right here in Woonsocket. Yep. So another thing we got going on, and like I said last week, Saturday, August 19th is our Post 85 open house. And that is going to go from
where you forget to close the doors.
That's right. We always forget to close the doors to the public up there because it's open to the public all the time. But on Saturday, August 19th, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., we are inviting members, friends, veterans, neighbors. Everybody is welcome to come down to Post 85 at 870 River Street, Woonsocket. We are going to start with some coffee and donuts at 11 o'clock. So if you want to come in at 11 a.m. and have a cup of coffee and something to eat. We got DJ Smokin' Ken is going to kick off the fun at 11 o'clock up in our pavilion. He's going to have some great music, games, raffles. Just going to have a lot of fun. And then at noontime, I'm very proud of this, we have formed a color guard up at the American Legion Post. I think it's probably one of the first ones of any of the veterans organizations here in Woonsocket area. And so that's going to be our first go around where we're going to present the colors at noontime. We're going to have the national anthem being played, and I am still trying to figure out my left foot from my right foot from my whole military
They're both
days.
there, and you got a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
Yeah. So, but that's what we're doing. We're going to practice, and hopefully we get it right. Which I got all the faith in the world of the guys in the color guard that we're going to do the right thing. So we're going to do that right around noontime, and then from 1 to 4, while supplies last. And I was told I have to say while supplies last, because it's free food. We're going to have some hot dogs, hamburgers, and meatball subs, and that the food is free, not the drinks. Okay.
Wow, you can't do that.
No, and we got plenty.
There's
of
laws against that.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
There is, and we'll have plenty of drink specials up there, so you can come have some free food, have a beverage, and probably the most important thing is that we're going to have all the entities there. We're going to have the American Legion Post 85 commander there. I'll be there as a member of Post 85. We're going to have the Friends of Fairmont. That's a civilian organization that supports us. We are going to have the auxiliary, which is the ladies that do things to help the post. We're going to have the Sons of the American Legion. So we're going to have all 4 entities there.
Which includes a few daughters, if I recall.
Yes, 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 as a matter of fact.
It's just a snap of your name to say the Sons of the American Legion.
Yeah. But they're all going to be there, so if you've ever been interested in seeing what the post is all about, if you've ever wanted to come up and take a look at the Eternal Flame Memorial we have up there, if you're ever wondering what the place looks like, Saturday, August 19th from 11 to 11 is when you should come there, because we can answer all your questions. In fact, that evening, after Smokin' Kenny the DJ is all done, right around 4 or 5 o'clock that afternoon, from 7 to 11, Wicked West is the band that's going to be playing. It's a live band, and we're going to be do the drawing for a mega 50-50 raffle. So right now you can go down to Post 85. If you want to go down there sooner than August 19th, you can purchase a ticket for $10 for the mega 50-50 raffle, and we will draw that raffle sometime right around 8, 9 o'clock that night when Wicked West takes their first break. So as always, open to the public down at Post 85's, but Saturday, August 19th is our open house.
All right. Well, thanks, Rich. We have to have a little another message here for the Valley Breeze. Let's see, I'm on number 5 this time. Okay, so let's just bring this up over here. Have in my hand a copy of the Valley Breeze newspaper from North Smithfield, Blackstone, and Woonsocket. They have 5 different editions. And on this one, you'll notice over at the Rustic Drive-In, they're having a little hatchback party over there, all dressed up in pink for the Barbie movie. Has anyone in the room seen the Barbie movie?
I was
Kimala?
going to,
Kimberly?
but all the tickets were sold out.
Oh, my goodness.
I was in New York the other day, and we wanted to go, but they were sold out.
Oh, well. There's a whole story in there from Bella Pelletier, which I think is really very interesting. Here in Woonsocket, Bella writes, the tax assessor says, all the nonprofits are going back to being fully taxed. That's a really fun story. You can read all about that. Let's see. Well, there's more there, but I do want to get to this other part because I'm looking for a couple of comments from the 2 ladies in the room. The next round of aid in Cumberland is planned for nonprofits in the Cumberland Lincoln edition, of course, and there Ethan Shorey writes that in Cumberland they're looking to put in a law that if you have an RV, on-street parking will be limited to 2 hours. In other words, you can't camp out on the streets. I don't know who would do that, but obviously, if it weren't a problem,
must be somebody doing somewhere if they're trying to make a law.
They wouldn't be bringing it up as a law. Now, Sophia Barr has a story here, and it's got on our wire service. It's all over the country now, about the lady who, the coffee shop owner in Cumberland. You must have heard about this, who went to the concert for Drake down in Brooklyn. Now, Drake, of course, very, very popular artist. If I recall, he comes from Canada, actually.
Yes.
He started off as a little TV star as a youngster. He's gotten to be quite a recording artist now. And he does the old, grandpa story. This has been done forever. The old Tom Jones thing, very controversial, where the ladies would take off their underwear and throw it at him while he was performing. Well, Drake seems a bit more civilized because he's only asking for bras.
Only bras.
Only bras. So anyway, it's okay. So it's audience participation, different performers, they do this sort of thing, and that's just fine. Everybody gets a big laugh, and there you go. Nobody gets in trouble. So he's doing this, and Correa, what's her first name? Veronica Correa has a coffee shop. Anyway, she says, I was there at the concert, and I took off my bra and I threw it up on stage. And during the number, he's doing his thing, and afterwards he goes over, he starts picking up some of the bras, and he sees Veronica's, and now Veronica's is a little larger than most of the other bras that are up there, let's just put it that way. And so he asks the crowd to point out the lady who threw this bra, and they do. Okay, everybody has a good laugh, everybody goes home, has another. And then, wouldn't you know, Playboy magazine calls her up and offers her a contract.
Yeah.
You heard about it,
Yes,
Kimberly.
I did. I was talking about it with my boyfriend the other day, and we were just laughing about it because, wow, you threw your bra up, and now you're going to be famous. Playboy called you because you threw your bra. It just really shows how easy some things can be. And I was just like, wow. Wow.
Well, I just hope she doesn't take it seriously, because that kind of fame can get you in trouble.
Yeah, it can be a little dangerous.
Yeah.
At most of the time.
Yeah.
So I hope she'll be okay. I hope so.
Well, she's smart.
Yeah.
So she won't do anything dumb. Although I'm sure it depends on people's different opinions. Maybe just throwing undergarments on stage, people would think is dumb and wasteful. But this is all part of an entertainment. You make up your mind at the time. You get caught up in the moment. You do stuff. Nobody gets hurt, right? Even the store doesn't get hurt because you have to go back and replace it. So, right?
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
Well, I can appreciate that. I have never had the price one myself, but I understand that they're not cheap, and they're a bother, and they're something that's necessary. But at least
I had not heard this story, so that's why I had a little gasp when I was like, and also I was thinking, Playboy's still around? I did not know.
Yeah, well,
I know, like, so maybe I'm
it's
just...
primarily online. You know, it's a different, it's a new media
all right.
publication more than it is
I'm like,
an
they
old
still
media
do that?
publication now. But it's still a thing, and it's got its cable channels and stuff
all
like
right.
that.
Oh yeah, okay.
So anyway, so that's kind of an interesting story, and you can read all the details in the Valley Breeze newspapers, free where you shop. But I wanted to ask Melissa. I mean, like, okay, is this? You go to a lot of concerts. Do you see stuff like this?
Not at the concerts that I go to.
Okay.
So, for example, the last concert I went to was Culture Club with Howard Jones, and I that's just not happening.
That's not a bra throwing event, I don't
It's
think,
not
right?
really a bra throwing event. You know,
He's no
like
longer
going
a
to
young
see,
buck prancing across the stage.
I tend to
Used
go to
happen
see
all
like
the time.
80s
in the
and
60s and 70s. I mean,
Well,
I remember
right,
big
right.
headlines.
It was. I thought it was a 60s thing.
They're
Just
throwing their
sure.
underwear at Tom Jones because he's such a hunk, and you know all the rest of that sort of thing like
Yeah.
that.
Well, they're bringing it back.
I guess so. Everything old is new again. All right, we have to
Right.
take a little message over here. We'll be right back. This portion brought to you by the Valley Breeze. Remote car starters are great to have in the summertime. They can cool off the inside of your car when the sun is blazing. Stop by Inferno Audio on Clinton Street in Woonsocket and speak to Keith about how easy it is to have a remote car starter installed in your vehicle. Now, if your air conditioner isn't working in your car, no problemo. Inferno Audio can make it work. So don't drive around with a hot car burning your fingertips. That's not safe. Plus, they can make car keys for any make or model of vehicle, and the price will be far less than the dealership would tell you. Stop in today and see Keith at Inferno Audio, 160 Clinton Street, Woonsocket, just next to KFC.
Summer Sizzler sale continues at Family Discount Furniture. Come in for hot summer deals. Family Discount Furniture has a huge selection in stock ready to bring home same day. Are you having trouble sleeping at night because you're just broiling? Well, check out the new Cooling Gel Mattress lineup. See the Ashley Collection Sofa and Love Seat or Sectional. Family Discount Furniture offers flexible leasing options, no credit needed. For details, talk to Ryan or Brad at Family Discount Furniture and visit online at FamilyDiscountFurnitureRI.com. Enjoy new furniture this summer from Family Discount Furniture on the corner of Social Street and Diamond Hill Road in Woonsocket.
This Friday, August 4th, at the 11 Amp Free Concerts at Woonsocket's River Island Art Park, we open with a woman who sings the truth beautifully, Alexis Lee.
All my life I've been trying to get right here. All my life I've been holding up this middle finger to the ones that fear.
And then at 7:30, our headline performers, the superb vocal harmonies and pop music sound of Girls on Grass.
Come hang with me down at the bottom. Come play with me, girl.
Live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON AM and FM stereo radio and streamed live at woonsocketradio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. Our broadcast is sponsored in part by Rhode Island State Senator Roger Pickard, Woonsocket City Council Vice President Valerie Gonzalez, Woonsocket School Committee Chair Paul Bourget, and Woonsocket City Councilman Brian Thompson. And a big announcement that Megan made just less than an hour ago is that our concert tonight, boys and girls, will be brought into the safety of the Mill Race event space right there where Mulvey's Hardware used to be at Market Square because of the persistent forecast of thunderstorms and rain. We don't want our audience suffering in any way, and certainly we want them safe. And if there's going to be thunderstorms, we have issues. There was one concert, I won't tell you which one it was. There was one concert this year where we came an inch away from shutting it down because there was lightning and thunder within 10 miles of the concert. You have to be concerned about that, really, for an outdoor concert. All right. I did have one little question. We have 3 minutes left of the show. Richard, do you get a chance to say everything you want to say?
Veterans Service Vehicle. You want to come down to America? You need a ride for veterans? 401-766-7585. We can get your ride, veterans.
Very good. Melissa, I promised you I was going to ask you a political question. And so here's the deal. It's getting to be... it's getting to heat up. The first congressional district race to replace Congressman Cicilline is starting to heat up. To my surprise, everybody wants a debate, but they're mostly splitter groups and people who...
Yeah, there's a lot of forums.
Right.
Yeah, everyone wants to do a forum.
There's one general interest one, that's the one Channel 12 is putting on the 29th. But everything else is like, it's my little splitter group, and I want to compare you all to see, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying there's not a general interest for the general audience. If you don't have an axe to grind on something, chances are you're not interested in those.
Right.
And they're in much smaller forums. But the interesting thing is we had a story today talking about the Providence Socialist Democrats Association. Oh, I should have put it in front of me to make sure I got the word right. DSA has changed their
Democratic
name.
Socialists of America.
That's right. The Providence Democratic Socialists of America is going by a new name. They're now calling themselves Rhode Island DSA. They're not happy with the Democratic Party in Rhode Island. They say that they're not liberal enough. What? Well, anyway, from where I'm standing, Democrats are quite liberal, but they're not liberal enough, and so God bless these people. They have a different philosophy, and they don't think they think the Democratic Party in Rhode Island is holding them back in their agenda. So they're splitting off themselves. Now the group now calls themselves DSA, and they formed a new strategy. They are mentioning the DSA endorsed elected officials, Providence City Councilor Miguel Sanchez, Rhode Island Representative Enrique Sanchez, and Senator Sam Bell. in the same newscast today, I had a story that Senator Sam Bell has endorsed Sandra Cano in the 1st District race. Does this help or hurt that candidate? Having an endorsement from, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll help. But I'm looking at it, I said the timing is extraordinarily wow.
Right. So I think that, Sandra has obtained endorsements from many of her colleagues,
Yeah.
probably at least a dozen,
Sure.
myself included.
Right.
And we really run the gamut. All of us are Democrats, but there's a what they like to call a big tent there.
Yeah.
So I think the timing was coincidental. I am surprised that you didn't hear another story about the race, which was a candidate whose father-in-law created a super PAC in order to create a commercial for that candidate, who was endorsed by the Working Families Party, but who is like saying that I'm a working families, I'm just like everybody else. But my father-in-law created this super PAC and gave me $1.5 million, but I had nothing to do with that, and that was Aaron Regenberg. And so he's also getting some heat, saying, like, you're running as a working man, but now you have access to all these things like this, this generational wealth that the other working class people who are actually working class people
Right.
who are running don't have access to.
They have
So
jobs
it's-
and stuff like that, and they just run. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, he walked away from a federal clerkship. Most people aren't lucky enough to be able to do that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I can see your point.
I think it's going to get nasty. It's a very short race now. Is September 5th is the primary. So
I know.
I think that
That's
because
the
there's
Tuesday
so
after
many.
Labor Day.
Right. And it's a Tuesday after a holiday weekend. So
It's going to come up fast.
it is, worry about low voter turnout because people might be on vacation. So you have a lot of candidates here.
And it's going to come down to two. One for the Democrats, one for the Republicans, right?
That's right. But I mean, let's face it, whomever wins a Democratic primary is likely to win the seat.
You said that carefully.
Most likely to win the
what
seat.
They,
Right. So
for Kemily's benefit, they call it the Rhode Island reality.
Mm-hmm.
It's a one-party state.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
All righty. So,
yeah,
well,
so I think I'm surprised that story didn't come up and that the focus was on this other story, because I think anybody who knows Senator
well, give it
Bell
time. If it's going to get nasty, everybody's dirty
knows
laundry is going to get hung out.
that
isn't it?
he was part of the DSA, but he's one of many.
I wouldn't be surprised by the time September 5th comes along, somebody's going to hold a press conference to say that one of their opponents sucked their thumb when they were a kid. It's one of those things, right?
It's a jungle primary. I mean, it's kind of crazy,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
So
It's going to get even more crazy.
It
All right, well, thanks for your
is.
comment on that. I wanted to make sure we got a little bit of really, substantive talk in before we ended our program today. Melissa, thanks for coming by today.
thank you. And I just want to do a quick reminder, if you are wanting your tickets for Twilight on the Blackstone, they're on sale. DWC02895.org has all your info.
Very good. And Rich, thanks for coming.
Thank you. Manatees tomorrow night, American Legion Post 85, 7 to 11, outdoor concert underneath the pavilion. Drinks will be there.
Kimberly Henry, we give you the last word today. Close it off.
So, Livid Amp will be having our weekly concert tonight at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., but we will be inside at Millrace, 40 Main Street.
That's the way it goes. Alexis Lee and the Girls on Grass tonight. And if you can't be, if you go there and you can't get in because too many people came, you can always watch it or listen to it on your radio.
Yep.
Sit out in the car, wait for somebody to leave, and you can go in afterwards.
Keep watching for a seat to open. Look at-
Yeah.
oh, there's the
Actually, we
patio.
can fit 100 people in. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. But when you're usually drawing 300, 400 people in the park, we
Right.
understand some people might be disappointed. All right. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed your experience on ON Radio.
I surely did. It was
All
very
right.
nice.
And I'll remind everybody, if you missed any portion of our broadcast today, pick it up on demand at wonsocketradio.com. Click on the ON On Demand little text link that's over there, and join us tonight at 6 o'clock for the concert live on ON AM and FM stereo radio and on stereo streaming TV on all the fashionable platforms, including X. I didn't know I was on X. Somebody told me they saw me on X live.
Twitter. It's what they are calling Twitter.
That's right.
It's Twitter.
It's the X Twitter. It's called X. Make it a good day, everybody.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is